Hello everyone, amateur meteorologist FirstinWeather here. It is December 8th, 2018. We are on the eve of Winter Storm Diego for North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. There's a lot to talk about. Let's get right to it. Probably one of the biggest trends that you've seen throughout the day is this definite northward shift in the track of the storm, really giving more warm air for these areas of North Carolina, which has significantly reduced forecasted snowfall totals for these areas, but also significantly increased snowfall totals for central Virginia. And so, as we take the latest 0Z NAM 3KM model through, we can see that we have extremely heavy snow pushing into southwestern Virginia, as early as 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Sunday morning. These are very heavy snowfall rates. We're talking 2 to 3 inch per hour rates in some of these isolated pink areas that you see. And then as we go through time, snow reaches central VA around 10 a.m. Sunday. Then it becomes very heavy very quickly. You can see this band right here almost of extremely heavy snow, and I would not be surprised if this band, if it does verify, has thunder snow with it, with this extremely heavy snow, high Cape values, lots of convection. I really wouldn't be surprised if we in fact see thunder snow with this system. It will be isolated, but it will be possible with the extreme amounts of Cape that we do indeed have. And as that goes through, the storm finally starts to pull away, and by Monday morning we have clear skies over the region, except for maybe a few flurries or sprinkles in this area right here. So now what I want to show you is this definite northward shift in the guidance. And if we go to total snowfall, we go to previous run, go like this. You can see how the snow line was actually right around here with the sharp cutoff, but now, as we go all the way back to future runs, alright, we can see that that line has basically almost gone up to DC, expanding that very heavy snow into Richmond, Charlottesville, possibly Tappahannock, and northern central Virginia. Not quite making it up to DC, but areas just south of DC could even see a dusting of snow in some isolated locations. Alright. And basically all of the models have been having this. In fact, the European model had about 4 to 6 inches of snow for Richmond earlier this afternoon, then earlier last night, and then this afternoon raised that to 6 to 8 to 8 to 10 inches of snow in central Virginia. So definitely a big northward shift, and that has been the trend, reducing snowfall totals for this area due to rain from all the warm air being pumped inland, but increasing snowfall totals in this area right here. Now, one of the other things I want to talk about is the ice accumulation. If we go back to the precip, we can see that this really does have the potential to be a big ice storm. We have ice on the backside right here, and then particularly there's going to be a big icing issue right here, right in the Charlotte area, especially. As that warm air is pumping through, there's going to be a struggle for quite some time before it finally changes over to rain. And we can see some significant ice accumulations. We're talking up to 0.30 inches of ice right here, a quarter of an inch in most areas around Charlotte. That is going to lead to significant travel issues, especially as you go to work Monday morning, or even if you do go to work Monday morning. I think many of you will be staying home, especially in Charlotte Monday morning. But now if we look at the temperature profiles, we can see that temperatures are going to be relatively below freezing as you go west of I-95. Temperatures will be below freezing in these areas for the duration of the event, which will give a nice snow to rain to snow ratio, and will give nice snow amounts for those areas. If we go to total snowfall, we can see that there's going to be quite some big totals in these areas right here. We're talking 9 to 15 inches, potentially even more than that. In some isolated areas in the mountains, I wouldn't be surprised if some locations do end up seeing 2 feet of snow after all is said and done. And you guys might be wondering why I'm only focusing on one model. Well, that's because for basically all the models do have this a similar kind of setup. There's not too much fluctuation. There's a lot of good model agreement and consensus, and that's always something you want to look for right before a major event. And so as we look at the snowfall totals, we can again see significant totals in northwestern North Carolina. I think a lot of this is overdone, especially in the middle of the state, especially in Raleigh, where there's gonna be a lot of icing, sleet, and then eventually rain. So I think this is way too much in terms of snowfall. I think these areas will see about half of that, what the model is showing. But pretty good snowstorm for northwestern South Carolina, and basically these three states right here. And this is it, guys. This could be a historic snowstorm for western Virginia, northwestern North Carolina. It could really break the record books, especially for a storm this early. And so without further ado, here's my Virginia snowfall forecast. As you can see, I have definitely increased the totals as that storm has shifted northward. And now that coding line is way up, almost up to DC, or right at DC. Then below that I have my 1 to 4 inches. This goes in this blue area right here, or this area outlined by the blue, and this goes down to southeastern Virginia. Now in this blue area I have 4 to 7 inches. You might recall this was the 1 to 4 inch area previously, but I've upped it to 4 to 7 inches. Now in this purple area, 6 to 10 inches of snow, and below that 9 to 15 inches of snow potentially, and I might have to extend this red area a little bit here, but you get the point. There's going to be significant snowfall accumulations in this area right here, very heavy snow, and that's pretty much it, guys. This is going to be a significant snowstorm. There will be travel delays and probably school cancellations in a lot of North Carolina and Virginia on Monday. So stay tuned for that. And also, one thing before I leave, the coastline of Virginia will be mostly rain as all that warm air is being pumped in, and also anywhere to the east of this yellow line will see potentially some sleet and freezing rain as we go later into Sunday afternoon. Right, that pretty much sums up this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.